Good morning, televiewers of My Media Prime Television. Thank you so much for joining us once again on this other edition of the Brief, your favorite bilingual program, which is always dedicated to the review of striking headlines in the papers. On today's edition of the program, the newspapers are focusing on 3 Cameroonians who are being indicted in the United States of America for their role in fueling the ongoing socio-political upheavals in the 2 English-speaking regions of the country. We are talking about the Anglophone crisis that morphed into an armed conflict in 2017, and the 3 Cameroonians were arrested recently after an order from the court in the United States of America. We shall talk about that this morning. And equally, senatorial elections in Cameroon come 2023. We are told that the table of President Paul Biya is already full with CVs of Cameroonians who are wishing or who are praying that they should be appointed by President Paul Biya for the 30 senators who will be appointed by President Paul Biya to join the other 70 that will be elected during the elections come 2023. Stay with us. Let's find out what Gwladys Bomotonguina gathered for us in the French language newspapers. Bonjour Gwladys.
Bonjour Lasha, bonjour à vous fidèles téléspectateurs de My Media Prime Télévision. C'est l'heure de débrief. Ce matin, mesdames, messieurs, nous commençons avec l'info à chaud. L'info à chaud ce matin nous amène à Nsah pour parler ici de chefs de l'État. Le journal nous présente ici la rencontre fraternelle des oncles maternels du chef de l'État. Le journal nous révèle ce matin que les oncles maternels du chef de l'État prient pour lui. En effet, la traditionnelle assise de la grande famille des Etoudi, Yetotan, Etundu et Etulu a été marquée en cette fin d'année par la célébration d'une messe d'action de grâce pour Paul Biya et ses proches ce 26 novembre à la paroisse Saint-Jean-Baptiste de Somo, diocèse de Batia. Cette rencontre, cette grande communauté disséminée donc dans les régions du centre et du sud dont est issue la mère du chef de l'État, s'est réunie cette fois en Diké Miniké dont le Mbam et Inougou sous la houlette de leur patriarche et porte-parole. Les détails sont donc en page 4 de Info Matin. Ce matin, mesdames, messieurs, toujours dans Info Matin, le journal nous parle du forum des maires. Alain, Mathieu, Doko et Diané vend donc la destination Cameroun en Italie. À cet effet, le deuxième adjoint au maire de Nsah a été à la tête donc d'une forte délégation à participer en compagnie de ses collègues du 21 au 25 novembre 2022 à une réunion avec ses homologues italiens dans les régions de Lombardie, d'Émilie, Romagne et de Pistoia. Les détails sont donc en page 4 d'Info Matin. Mesdames, Messieurs, nous continuons avec le journal bleu, le journal Le Jour ce matin, qui nous parle, lui, en grand titre de l'affaire André Onana. Tout sur cette affaire ou l'intégralité sur l'affaire André Onana, c'est dans cette édition du journal Le Jour à sa page 9. Dans le même journal, en page 8, le journal nous parle toujours de Qatar 2022. Les consommateurs orange se connectent donc à leur passion. 30 Camerounais venant des 4 coins du pays gagnant donc de la super promo Qatar ont atterri à Doha le 23 novembre pour un long séjour de 14 jours. Les détails sont donc en page 8 du journal bleu Le Jour. En page 5, le journal nous parle de Jean-Jacques Eveni avant football entre le système de jeu et le principe de jeu, l'intégralité. C'est donc dans cette édition du journal Le Jour. Mesdames, Messieurs, nous clôturons ce matin avec l'essentiel. L'essentiel nous parle en grand titre de la crise anglophone, la crise dans le nord-ouest et le sud-ouest. 3 terroristes ont donc été arrêtés aux États-Unis. Selon le département américain de la justice, les 3 accusés Claude Nchou, Francis Chény et Nestor Lamni ont donc sollicité et levé des fonds pour les équipements, des fournitures, des armes et du matériel explosif devant être utilisés dans des attaques contre les populations et les forces de sécurité dans le nord-ouest et le sud-ouest Cameroun. tout est dans cette édition du journal L'Essentiel à sa page 2. En page 3, le journal revient encore sur l'horreur du quartier Damas à Yaoundé. Les détails sont donc en page 3 du journal Essentiel ce matin. Mesdames, Messieurs, voilà pour vos titres ce matin en langue française. Place à la découverte des titres parus en langue anglaise ce matin. C'est avec Lasha.
Thank you, Gwladys, Bomotonguina. Let's kickstart this morning with the Chronicle Times newspaper. The Chronicle Times, the newspaper this morning is interested in the action taken by the United States government when it comes to bringing to book 3 Anglophones in the United States of America suspected of sponsoring terrorism in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Armed conflict in the northwest and southwest. U.S. begins arrest of authors of terror acts, writes the Chronicle Times newspapers. Get full details in this edition of the newspaper that you can find in the country this morning. And tracking down perpetrators of atrocities in the northwest and southwest region. Arrest of Sako Ikome, Chris Anu eminent, writes the Chronicle Times newspaper. We leave the Chronicle Times newspaper. We are taking you to the Guardian Post. The Guardian Post is also interested in the armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. 3 amber kingpins arrested in U.S. They risk 38 years jail term each if found guilty of arms smuggling, conspiracy to kidnap for ransom, and funding armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. The paper is telling us further that 3 Ambazonia kingpins were on Monday arrested in the United States of America on accusation of playing key roles in funding armed groups across the northwest and southwest regions of the country. The 3 risk 38 years jail term, like I earlier mentioned, each if found guilty. This is according to a statement which the United States U.S. Department of Justice issued Monday, November 28, 2022. The statement of which this newspaper laid hands on. The copy indicated that the accused Claude Chi 40, Francis Chenyui 49, and La Nesto Lamy 46 had since January 2018 been raising funds, purchasing weapons, and sponsoring different factions of separatist fighters across the restive English-speaking regions of Cameroon. We stay with the Guardian Post to talk about the action of Ambazonia fighters or suspected Ambazonia fighters who have killed gendarme and 2 Fulanis in Wum, a mentioned division of the northwest region. The fresh tension has erupted in Wum, mentioned division of the northwest region of the country, following the killing of at least 5 persons, including a gendarmerie officer, within 2 days in that part of the country. Thus, the trouble began on Monday after suspected Ambazonia fighters reportedly killed 2 Fulanis around mile 49 near the newly constructed B camp on the outskirts of Wum in mentioned division of the northwest region. Get full details in this edition of the said newspaper. And a biker in Yaoundé has been burned to death in a road accident. The paper tells us further that the commercial biker is said to have died or burnt to death in a road accident that occurred Monday, November 28 at the Titi Garage neighborhood in the nation's capital, Yaoundé. Get full details in this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. We end this morning with municipal updates. Municipal updates is also interested in the arrest of citizens for sponsoring amber atrocities in sponsoring amber atrocities in the northwest and southwest region. On Anglophone crisis, we are told that the accused of kidnapping Cameroonians demanding ransom from U.S. relatives, as well as funding separatist armed groups in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. The 3 U.S. arrest those citizens for what the newspaper is just talking about. The statement was issued recently by the U.S. Department of Justice with the names of the 3 individuals who are being accused of sponsoring terrorism back in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Yaoundé landslide. BIA extends condolence to families of victims. Full details in this edition of the said newspaper. 2023 government budgets 50 billion to boost decentralization across the national territory. Thank you for watching Televiewers of My Media Prime. This is what we gather for you this morning on what the English language newspapers are talking about. Let's go straight to South Africa to meet Dr. John, who is joining us this morning as usual. Good morning, Doctor, and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Kingsley. Good morning, my fellow co-panelists, and good morning to the viewers of My Media Prime TV. It's a pleasure to be with you again this morning to share some useful insight into what is trending as information.
Yes, Doctor, thank you for joining. This morning we begin with, of course, it is the lone major headlines in the English language newspapers talking about the statement of the U.S. Department for Justice, talking about those Anglophones who have been arrested in the United States of America for allegedly sponsoring terrorism back in the Northwest and Southwest. We are equally to Metro Alex Ndive is joining us. But we begin with you, Dr. John. When you read the statement, what was your response or reaction? Are you there, Doctor?
Yeah, I'm getting it. The sun was cutting.
Yes, when you read the statement coming from the U.S. Department of Justice, what was your reaction?
Well, I think you remember yesterday I said the U.S. as a country that upholds human rights, it was necessary for them to take steps towards such atrocities against human rights. It wasn't very strange for me. I know the U.S. understand that fighting for freedom, the right of self-determination, all of that is correct democratically. But arresting human beings, asking for ransom, kidnapping, that is no longer democratic.
But Doctor, I listened to the lawyer that made this happen. The U.S. government had to wait this long for a lawyer, a Cameroonian-born lawyer, to initiate the process because it is a long list of over 100 suspected sponsors or sponsorers of war back in the Northwest and Southwest regions of the country. More heads will still rule in the days ahead. Apparently, the sound this morning is not the best, Gwladys. We are talking about 3 individuals who have been arrested in the United States of America after a Cameroonian-born lawyer initiated the process of these people to be arrested for atrocities committed back home.
Lasha, c'est quand même triste de se rendre compte que c'est toujours les Camerounais qui font du mal aux Camerounais. Mais on est aussi ravis de savoir qu'il a fallu aussi un autre Camerounais pour se lever et décider de poursuivre ces différents Camerounais-là qui mènent la vie difficile à ces populations dans le nord-ouest et le sud-ouest parce qu'on ne veut pas compter combien de familles ont été victimes, pour ne pas dire la majorité, la totalité des familles dans cette partie du pays ont été victimes de ces kidnappings, de cette demande de rançon et tout ce que ça peut comporter. Lasha Kingsley, on ne peut pas compter le nombre d'individus ou de Camerounais qui sont décédés jusqu'à aujourd'hui, jusqu'à ce jour, simplement parce que peut-être les membres de leur famille n'ont pas été capables de fournir le montant d'argent qui avait été demandé. Au jour d'aujourd'hui, pour moi, en tant que Camerounaise, dans mon opinion personnelle, je pense que c'est une très bonne initiative qui a été prise là, une initiative qui doit être saluée de toutes les façons parce qu'au jour d'aujourd'hui, on en a marre de cette crise.
La question que les Camerounais posent, est-ce que le gouvernement américain devait attendre peut-être 6-7 ans pour poursuivre ces individus? You had clear facts, evidence against them. Some of them on videos ordering the kidnapping, slaughtering of human beings. Did it have to take this long for the American government to arrest these people?
Il y a une attitude que vraiment, véritablement, nous, Camerounais, on devrait travailler dessus. C'est l'attitude de toujours vouloir critiquer tout, même là, il ne faudrait pas critiquer. La réalité est qu'au jour d'aujourd'hui, ce sont les États-Unis, ce n'est pas le Cameroun. Ils n'ont aucune obligation.
But it should be underlined here that it is a lawyer. It is a young Cameroonian lawyer residing in the US that initiated the process.
Le gouvernement américain n'a aucune obligation envers le gouvernement camerounais. C'est un État souverain tel que le Cameroun est un État souverain. Ils n'ont aucune obligation envers le gouvernement camerounais. Au jour d'aujourd'hui, s'ils se sont levés, c'est parce qu'effectivement, un avocat s'est levé et a présenté le dossier devant eux. Si le dossier a été présenté devant les tribunaux américains au jour d'aujourd'hui, alors ils peuvent se lever et agir. Ils ne peuvent pas se lever simplement et venir décider que, ok, voilà, on va arrêter les gens. On parle ici des gens qui sont quand même aussi des citoyens américains. Hein. On parle des citoyens américains là. On n'est pas en train de parler des Camerounais. Parce que ces gars...
Non, they gave up their nationality. They naturalized as Americans.
Ce sont des Américains.
But the question now, if they are Americans, why are they still fighting, saying that we want our country? They should leave Cameroon alone. If they are, from what some Cameroonians are saying, that okay, if they are no longer Cameroonian citizens, they are U.S. citizens, why not concentrate on their citizenship and forget about their former country, which is Cameroon?
Peut-être c'est l'un des arguments qui va peser contre eux au procès. Parce qu'effectivement, ils sont des Américains. Ce ne sont pas des Camerounais. Ils n'ont pas à venir s'ingérer dans les choses du Cameroun. Ils sont noirs, ils sont Camerounais peut-être de naissance, mais ils ont choisi de devenir des Américains. Peut-être cet argument aussi va peser contre eux. Pourquoi est-ce qu'ils sont engagés dans une guerre, dans une partie, dans un pays, alors qu'ils ne font pas partie de ce pays, alors qu'ils ne vivent pas dans ce pays? Ce sont là aussi des arguments qui vont peser contre ces individus. Mais au jour d'aujourd'hui, Lasha, comme je le disais, c'est un moment pour nous, au moins, de pouvoir reconnaître une action qui est bien faite au lieu de vouloir poser toujours des questions d'ambiguïté.
We are equally told that the FBI stormed the residence of self-styled Secretary of State of the Virtual Republic of Ambazonia, Christain. And we are told that his laptop and mobile phones were equally taken away for exploitation of data, because it is revealed that they are paid him ransom worth over 150 million francs CFA, coming from kidnappings and other activities that the people on the ground he's been instructing they are carrying out, as per what Municipal Updates newspaper and Chronicle Times are reporting this morning.
Effectivement, on reconnaît les États-Unis d'Amérique comme ce pays-là où les droits de l'homme sont quelque chose qu'on respecte et qu'on respecte à la pointe. Au jour d'aujourd'hui, vous parlez du secrétaire général, entre guillemets, de l'État d'Ambazonie, l'État Facebook d'Ambazonie. Alors, aujourd'hui, si... La police américaine s'est introduite dans le domicile de ce monsieur, saisit ses téléphones, son laptop et tous ses gadgets pour pouvoir être capable de faire des enquêtes. On voit ici effectivement une procédure qui est en train d'être respectée, parce qu'on ne peut pas simplement aller arrêter quelqu'un sans toutefois avoir la conviction qu'effectivement il a les mains.
Les vidéos, les voice notes qu'il envoie, ce n'est pas... Ça ne suffit pas pour qu'on l'arrête.
Mr. Lasha, toute personne est reconnue coupable juste
devant
une loi.
Une chaîne de télévision, Southern
on est reconnu
il fait toutes ses propagandes tout le temps.
On est reconnu coupable jusqu'à ce que la cour ait décidé que tu es coupable. Parce qu'il y a des gens qui déclarent avoir commis des meurtres qu'ils n'ont jamais fait. On a des gens qui déclarent avoir commis des meurtres qu'ils n'ont jamais fait juste pour avoir la popularité, juste pour avoir le buzz, juste pour qu'on s'intéresse à eux. Il y a des gens qui le font. Alors, quelqu'un n'est désigné coupable jusqu'à ce que la cour décide qu'il est coupable des actes dont on l'accuse. Jusqu'ici, il n'y a aucune cour qui a déclaré ces messieurs coupables. Alors, il faudrait que la procédure se suive jusqu'à ce qu'on puisse déterminer si effectivement ils ont participé.
Well, let's look at the other side of the coin now. Arresting these people and imprisoning them. Don't you think that it is going to radicalize other or their followers who are on the ground, the people who take instruction from these people?
Ce que je veux dire...
Is there not going to be an escalation of violence in those two English-speaking regions because these people have been arrested?
Lasha, ce que je veux dire, c'est que ceux qui sont en train de faire tout ce désordre dans le nord-ouest et le sud-ouest ne sont pas les séparatistes. Quand je dis ce ne sont pas les séparatistes, ce ne sont pas les gens qui ont l'idéologie séparatiste. Ce ne sont pas ceux qui ont l'idéologie peut-être de résoudre les problèmes dans le nord-ouest et le sud-ouest. Ce sont des criminels.
The one that they should call them Ambazonian.
C'est ce qu'ils déclarent, mais ce n'est pas ce qu'ils sont. Ce sont des criminels. Parce que, en réalité, ceux qui ont l'idéologie, ceux qui veulent effectivement qu'il y ait, je ne sais pas trop quoi, la résolution ou bien la parité dans le partage des gangs du pays, n'ont pas les armes. Ils n'ont pas les armes. Ils sont en train de s'exprimer. Simplement, ils ne sont pas dans les actes de violence. Alors si au jour d'aujourd'hui, on parle des gens qui kidnappent, des gens qui demandent des rançons, des gens qui, pour que tu enterres un de tes proches, il faut que tu payes quelque chose. Là, on a affaire à des criminels, on n'a pas affaire à des séparatistes. Il faut faire la différence entre les deux. Ce sont des criminels. Alors aujourd'hui, tu poses la question de savoir si on arrête les chefs, les chefs de gang, entre guillemets, parce que jusqu'ici, il n'y a pas encore de preuves qu'ils sont, ils sont les auteurs, ils sont les instigateurs, jusqu'à ce que la Cour le déclare. Si on les arrête au jour d'aujourd'hui, est-ce que ça va radicaliser ceux qui sont dans la brousse? Je vais te dire non, ça ne va pas les radicaliser. Pourquoi? Parce que ces garçons sont dans la brousse parce qu'ils ont faim. Ces garçons sont dans la brousse parce qu'ils ont faim. Alors, s'il n'y a pas, je ne sais pas moi trop quoi, un moyen pour eux de kidnapper où on peut envoyer de l'argent et qu'ils puissent pouvoir se nourrir, je ne vois pas pourquoi ils vont continuer dans cette crise. Parce que ça ne va leur servir à rien de kidnapper quelqu'un et ne pas pouvoir recevoir de l'argent. Par quel compte est-ce que l'argent va passer? Ça peut certainement pas passer par leur compte personnel étant ici au Cameroun. C'est impossible. Donc, il faudrait qu'il y ait quelqu'un hors du pays qui va servir je sais pas moi quoi, de receveur de ces argents pour qu'ils puissent dispatcher après et qu'ils puissent avoir leur part de rançon. Mais jusqu'ici, s'ils restent au Cameroun et que ces gars sont arrêtés peut-être à l'étranger, ils ne peuvent pas continuer leur activité.
They will not continue. Certainly, Dr. John is joining us once again. The lines are not the best this morning. Let's try it once again. Dr. John, you are back. Can you continue from where you ended?
Okay, I think I'm getting you now. Okay, right. Thank you very much, and thank the technicians for trying their utmost best. What I was saying is that in as much as we have many heads that we roll in this case, it's very important that since the United States has been able to initiate the process of arresting those that are considered to be inciting the violence, kidnapping, and the abuse on human rights, it's quite a good thing because they are a country that are upholding human rights. And I think, as you said, were they supposed to wait for too long? I just want to believe that they were carrying out investigations to have enough evidence before initiating the process. But then I think the U.S. also should not only arrest those who are responsible or, in quotes, responsible for the violence, but they should also be able to call the government to order to create a conducive atmosphere for genuine dialogue that the problem can be solved once and for all. Because if they arrest whosoever they are arresting, they put them in jail, and the problem is not solved. Remember, it's more of an ideological problem. So if the ideology is not settled with the people, after some time, there's going to be another rise up.
Doctor, let me pop in and ask you this question. Do you think America is interested in solving this problem?
From a distance,
or any Western world or any Western country, do you think they are interested in solving this problem in Cameroon?
They might be interested to solve the problem because of probably economic reasons which they have with Cameroon. But secondly, if I remember my history very well, you know, the condition that was given that by the time of plebiscite, independent by joining, it's something that I don't think there were other countries who had the same experiences. So somewhere, somehow, some of them are trying to pull back because they know there were some flaws that were committed during the process, and they being those that were at the head of the United Nations at that time and right up to now, they do not want to also accept responsibility for the mistake that they made, because the UN is a big organization. So probably those are some of the reasons why, from my opinion, some of the powers are withdrawing. Like the UK. The UK understands exactly what happened with the Southern Cameroons. They know what happened at that time, the kind of intellectuals we had who could not, the intellectual atmosphere that was prevailing at that time. And they knew that somehow, somewhere, the processes were not correct. Okay. And they were very much aware, and they didn't do anything. So most of them at this moment would not want to take the responsibility for the errors they committed several years, several decades behind. Okay. To me, that is some of the reason why they are pulling back. So they want to solve it, but they don't want to come outright and accept their own mistake. Okay. Because of that, let me try. They obviously want to come to solve it. Let me try Alex Ndive once again, if he's getting us. Alex Ndive, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Lasha. Good morning, Gwladys. Good morning to Doctor who is on your part of the program today, and good morning to the beautiful people of the Cameroon. Yeah, we are following you. I've been getting a glimpse of some of the things that you're saying, and as I always say, when we come to the public, we should be very careful what we are saying in public. I understand we have been talking about who brought the prosecution against some Cameroonians in America. I should make this clear. It's the prosecutor and the district attorney. It's not a Cameroonian who brought the case. There's a difference. No, we are talking,
Maitre Alex, no, Maitre, let us put the facts clear. A Cameroonian initiated the process, brought to the attention of the American justice system that some crimes were being committed back in Cameroon by those Cameroonians. It's a long list of Cameroonians, not just these three people that have been arrested.
In a criminal procedure, the person who brings up a case, it doesn't matter whether I sit on my house now, I see somebody stealing. I say somebody stealing. You cannot say I initiated, I can report something is normal. But the person who brings case is the prosecutor or the district attorney. That's it. We should make that clear. Because I report something doesn't mean I'm the one who initiated. Anybody can say I saw somebody jumping on a window or whatsoever. That's different. Anybody can.
But the lawyer has spoken.
When we talk about criminal matter, it's the prosecutor and the district attorney.
Maitre Alex, you are a lawyer, and sometimes people come to you and they complain about their problems. You are the one that goes to see the judge or whoever to initiate the process. Are you telling me that you don't represent?
Mr. Lasha, understand me again. Yes. When there is a criminal problem, you report it to the police. That's the first step in the criminal. The police investigate it, call the culprit or the alleged suspect, then they interview the suspect. If there's a case to answer, the prosecutor take it. That's how it works.
Let's talk now about the case. Let's talk about the case of Chris Anu. Let's talk about the case of Chris Anu. We are reliably informed that his residence was stormed by FBI.
I heard you just Chris Anu. Can you repeat again? I'm sure we're having a problem with the sound.
I'm saying that.
Let me talk about.
Yes, I'm saying that Chris Anu is a clear example of what they are saying, reporting to the police and whatever. We are told that the FBI is already investigating Chris Anu. His laptop and mobile phones were seized by the FBI for investigation.
Mr. Lasha.
Yes.
There is nothing to be excited that they investigate any person. It is a normal procedure in any country. You're innocent until proven guilty. I've seen some of your headlines. Terrorists. They are not terrorists. They are suspects. That's how we call it. And I'm surprised that some of the English papers that are carrying those headlines, anybody could be investigated. There's a procedure. You could be arrested in the UK, in America. Before they interview you, they must arrest you. They must caution you before interview. If they don't do that, they will throw out the case. So we should understand this thing and we should not be excited. I've seen again, they said the American government, I heard what my doctor was saying and other people, that the American, they waited so long. No, the problem is not an American problem. Recently, it became an American problem. Why? Because people are collecting money inside the United States. That's their problem. But when it comes about people who are attacking the Cameroons, it is the duty of the Cameroons to follow the extradition policy. It is not the American government. The government doesn't want to follow that procedure. And in a nutshell, this is what the procedure is. The Department of Justice in Cameroon could write to the U.S. State Department, and they said that they produce that we have such a name. They produce the evidence. They will look at the case.
But they will need a lawyer. Natural Alex, they will need a lawyer to represent Cameroon. Will need a lawyer to represent her.
No, I mean,
and of course, that could be
Justice,
what is happening with a lawyer, with a young lawyer that initiated the process. He could be representing Cameroon.
The Department of Justice, the government. Mr. Lasha, listen to me clearly. When I say the Department of Justice Department, Ministry of Justice in Cameroon, there are lawyers there already. They have to look for evidence, gather the evidence, send it to the U.S. Justice Department, and they will look at those things. But the government of Cameroon have not done that. We know the names of the people who have been talking that they should chop people's hands. We know the people that who have said that they should attack the UN. And as Gwladys said on this program, I should make it clear, these people who go about kidnapping people for ransom, raping women and children, they are criminals. They are not separatists. They are not secessionists. We should not mix up the things. But from the onset, I made it clear that there are war crimes. I made it, there is a difference between a separatist. A separatist does not necessarily mean that somebody who is carrying arms. A separatist means that somebody who wants to maybe legally work separate from a body. Like, example, former British Cameroonians, some of them want to separate. That's a separatist. Separatist does not mean you must carry arms. So we should distinguish those two things. I've made it clear on your program, those who go about harassing civilians, killing people, they are criminals. I am the first person in April 2017, when 11 Bakure chief, Mola Banda was killed, I came out and I condemned them. When Sakwe, his head was chopped in Guzan, I condemned them. Florence Ayafo, I condemned them. Mola Etambi, Mola Ndile, Mola Mignoli, and Gio Namata, I've been condemning that these people are criminals.
But Metro, you are condemning and you're a lawyer and a leader of a political party. You're only condemning. Why can't you take an independent action as a Cameroonian to initiate their own process for these people to be arrested?
They don't work for free. To be a lawyer is a job. People cannot sit on dong members or citizens or members. They cannot be stealing money. You pay me, it's a job. Mr. Lasha, you're a journalist. You need to earn a living. I don't work for free. The people who are working in the government, they don't work for free. So I cannot initiate. All I can do as a leader of a political party is to condemn them and to tell people if there's election one day that, look, I'm better off to solve this problem. The government is using taxpayers' money, and taxpayers' money is meant to solve the problem that's going on. You cannot see that. I've done my best to seek to condemn certain things. So certain times, I've spoken to these people. They have kidnapped people. I call them and I say, release those people. They do that. That's the least I can do. I am not a government. I'm not a police officer. I'm not a member of parliament. I am not a senator. The people who are being paid with taxpayers' money should do their job, not me.
Okay, Maitre, thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Dr. John, your last words. Our time is up. We lost him. Gwladys, that's it for today. Today's edition of the program. Thank you, Maitre Alex Nive, for coming. Thank you, Dr. John from South Africa. The program, of course, this morning was produced for us by Christain Tebong, as usual. Gwladys, Bomotonguina, and myself, Lasha Kingsley. We were here for the presentation, wishing you the best. And stay blessed and follow more programs on My Media Prime Television. Bye-bye.